it's Jacqueline with systemsforselfcare.com, where I teach you to consistently take daily action so you can create the life that you want. Today, we're going to talk about the easiest drink more water plan that you will ever find. I know a lot of people want to drink more water. They know that drinking water is just going to help them feel better, help you feel good, not gross. You know that when you drink more water, you just naturally drink less coffee. You're not turning to sugary drinks. You're not turning to juice. You're not turning to soda. You're not turning to energy drinks. When water is next to you, you're more likely to drink it. And what does that do? It helps your body feel better. It helps you get better sleep. It helps you not feel sluggish. You feel more energized. Overall, you just feel better in your body, and then you probably feel better in your head because you're not drinking liquid calories. You're not spending a ton of money on extra things that you don't really need. They're more than just those wants, those like hits of joy that you impulsively purchase or impulsively partake in. And again, I'm not gonna take those things away from you. I still think that you should be able to have those fun processed liquids, but it's like, cool, let's do it in moderation and that not be the only thing that you drink and consume throughout your day. Doing that's going to make you feel gross. So this is the easiest plan that you will ever find to drink more water. I know a lot of you do things like track like how many ounces you drink on like an app, or even writing it down on paper, or like those water bottles with the lines and whatever. And those are fine. But from what I have heard from clients, it doesn't really last. They have never really picked up the habit of just consistently drinking water and it just being what they do and who they are. They're able to do those things when everything is like running smoothly and there's no stressors, and they have the time or the headspace to like track things. But let's be real, that's not going to be the rest of your life. Just imagine being on vacation. Are you going to be sitting there and tracking how many ounces of water you're drinking? Probably not. So what we want to do is we want to set up systems for self-care that will work here when you're at home and you're just working from home, or maybe you're going to work, and also weekends when you're traveling, when you're able to venture off into the world and go on vacation or go on a road trip or visit your parents' house or have parties or whatever. We want to set up systems for self-care that help you just be that naturally healthy and happy person. And like you taking care of yourself, not just be these things that you can do when everything in life is running perfectly, because there will never be a period of time in life where everything is running perfectly. It just won't. Okay. So the easiest drink more water plan you'll ever find. Step one, you're going to take your weight and divide it by two. This is the easiest calculation that I've seen out there. Obviously, this is subjective. This is definitely subjective. And how much water you drink. It might also depend on the climate of where you're at and your activity level. If it's summer, whatever, if you've gone and run a marathon, you're probably going to have a different amount of water that you're drinking. But for regular life, for everyday life, start with just taking your weight and dividing it by two, and then aiming for that amount of water in ounces. If you're not in America and you're on the metric system, you'll have to figure out what the general thing that people say to do. But let's just start with that. So I'm going to let's pretend that you're 200 pounds. If you are 200 pounds and you divide by two, that's 100 ounces of water. That's what you're going to aim for. That's about what I actually drink in a day, probably more than that. I drink a lot of water. Step two, you're going to find containers that you already own to hold all of that water, right? So we said 100 ounces. We're going to just use that as the example. You're going to find containers that you already own to hold 100 ounces of water. You have them, like you do. Everyone has a cabinet or a drawer full of water bottles that they've purchased throughout the years. You do not need to go to the store to buy more crap that you're not ever actually going to use. Use the stuff that you already have. I think that this is like a shopping addiction. Like, ooh, I get to go buy more stuff, and then that stuff just sits in your drawer. You don't need to go buy a 100-ounce water bottle. Just use the water bottles that you have. Start being a minimalist. Start using what you have instead of always looking for a quick fix, a product, like a tangible product that's going to magically solve all of your issues, the container to hold the water doesn't actually matter. We're going to talk about what does matter, what will actually get you to consume more water. So remember, we said divide your weight by 2. So if you're 200 pounds, we're looking at aiming at 100 ounces of water, and I'm talking about plain water, just water, maybe with lemon or Crystal Light, but just like calorie free water. Here is the habit, right? This is what you're going to do every single evening. In the evening, you're going to do this in the evening so that when you wake up, you do not have to do a whole bunch of work. I think I've talked about that on past episodes. In the moment that you're supposed to do the thing is not the time to prep to do the thing. That stuff should be already be done ahead of time. So in the evening, you are going to fill all of those containers, all of those bottles. You're going to fill them up so that you have 100 ounces of water already set up for you, so that when you wake up in the morning, you're going to walk into your kitchen, you're going to see your water on the counter, and you're like, great. Thanks, past self, for setting up present self or future self, right? And that water is already set for you. That is the habit that you want to set to make this the easiest drink more water plan ever. You want to get into the habit of every evening filling up your water bottles and setting them on the counter. If you want, you can track, let me grab that. You can track that habit with a 365 habit tracker. I would just write, the new habit I want to program into my brain, my day, my year, my life is evening water bottle filling, whatever you want to call it. Every evening I fill water bottles. I fill up my water bottles for the day. That's the habit. That's the thing that you're going to track. When you do that habit, that sets you up for success. You're more likely to consume the water if it's already set up for you. You don't have to go refill it constantly. You don't have to track it on an app. You don't have to micromanage, how many, am I at this many ounces yet? Oh gosh, no, just have it set up so that it's ready for you to go. So that was step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 4 is optional. If you want to track any habits with water, just track the habit of filling the water. And then step 5, drink the water. Drink the water. So I always have my clients, when they first wake up, it's in the Year of Growth, the workbook that we use. Wake up, do not consume media, go and chug a glass of water and take your vitamins or any other medications that you need to take. Get into that habit in the morning, but starting your morning with water, chugging 8 ounces or 10 ounces of water. If you have a water, if your water bottle is, 25 ounces, maybe you just chug half of it, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. I'm not looking to micromanage how many ounces of water you are drinking. Again, I know we talked about aim for 1,000 or for 100 ounces, but you want to get into the habit of being the person who sets up water in the evening so that you have those things available to you. And then you start your morning with drinking it. And then what you do is all of those bottles that are there, you take them with you wherever you're going to go. Okay, cool. You have to run an errand to go to the store. You're going to bring a bottle of water with you. You are going up to your office, bring all of the bottles of water with you. You're always going to have water with you, and you're going to be grateful that you have water. I think that a lot of people complain, oh my gosh, I don't like water. And it's water is the most basic thing. It's without water, we cannot be alive. And if you look at, there's so many places that don't have water and will complain, or don't have clean drinking water. And we will complain about having to drink water. And it's wait a second, how about we're grateful, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that I have clean water to drink. That's so wonderful. I think especially if we look back at the last month, I know the winter storm in Texas, and all of the homes without power and without water, and they're melting snow to drink for water, right? They're boiling snow. It's hey, maybe I'm going to be grateful that I have running water in my home and it's clean and I can drink it and it's basically free. It's so cheap. Maybe I'll actually just be grateful for that and not complain about this thing. Yeah. So the easiest, drink more water, pick how many ounces you're going to drink, find containers that you already own to fill that amount of water every evening. Just set it up. It literally takes a minute to set up your water bottles. If you want to track anything when it comes to water, track the habit of filling your water bottles and setting yourself up for success. You could use the 365 habit tracker and just put it like tape it up right on the counter where you're going to set out your water bottles. It can go right there, or maybe it's in the bathroom. You know that you already have the routine, you have the habit of washing your face and brushing your teeth. Maybe you just put the tracker in the bathroom as the cue, the reminder to go into the kitchen and fill up the water bottles. There's so many different ways that you can work with this, but really taking that 1 minute in the evening to set up that water, that's going to set you up for success the next day. And you don't have to micromanage water consumption. It's just what you do, it's just a part of who you are. Again, when you do this, when you follow these steps, I said 5, but it's kind of 4. You can track, you don't have to. But when you follow these steps and you're drinking more water and you're in the habit of setting water up for yourself in the evening so that you can drink more water, it's going to relieve a lot of stress. It's going to relieve a lot of the thinking and micromanaging. It's just this system that you have for yourself to take care of yourself. It's a system for self-care that you don't really need to think more about, and you don't have to Google anything or download more apps. It's just, this frees up some headspace for the bigger things in life that I do need this brain power for, that I do need to focus on and really like figure out solutions to. Don't make water consumption the biggest problem of your day. It really can be very easy if you let it be easy, but it starts with you filling up that water first thing or last thing, last thing before you go to bed. So that first thing in the morning, you can start your day and feel good, not gross. In the show notes, I'm going to put a picture of my water setup. It works really well for us. It works for me. It works for my husband. I fill up the water bottles for my husband. So I set him up for success too. So again, this is going to help you feel good, not gross. It's something that you can do always. And is this something that you would want for a young female in your life? Would you want a young female in your life to get in the habit of setting water bottles up in the evening so that she has water, clean water to drink during the day? Yeah, probably. Would you want a young female in your life having to micromanage and think about every ounce of water that she's drinking? Probably not. Let's start like implementing systems and habits and routines and plans that we would want for the younger females in our lives. And if you do have kids or you do have a younger female or a niece or student, whatever, when they see you kind of taking a methodical approach to things and it's not so like emotionally powered, oh my god, or like so stressful, it's just like, hey, this is just what we do because this sets us up for success. It's not just going to help you, but it's going to help the young people that are around you, and it's going to help your coworkers, your family, all the other people that are around you. So I hope that is so helpful. Here's what I want you to do next. You're going to go to systemsforselfcare.com/365 habit tracker, and you can download a free copy of the habit tracker so you can get started on this. But again, it really has to start with you setting those water bottles up at night. Take care. I will see you in the next one. Bye.